What is up, my heathens, and welcome to New World. In this video, we'll be looking at what you should be doing in your first couple hours in the game, and most importantly, how to even get into New World. That's right, we're going to give you some tips and tricks on how to combat that dreadfully long queue. So let's set sail and discover this new world. Now before we get started, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for more New World and other gaming content. To see me live, head over to twitch.tv/PhoenixBell to get your fix in midweek. We play loads of games, including Minecraft, Paladins, some horror games, and of course, New World. You can catch me live every Monday and Thursday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Saturday mornings from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely don't want to miss out on the shenanigans we get into over there, so check it out. Alright, so we kicked off this morning much like thousands of others trying to get into New World. If you played any of the betas or closed testing, you're familiar with the queue. When a server is full, you'll be entered into a queue showing your progress. These numbers can seem a little daunting, but don't worry, remember I said I have some tips for you so you can make it a little less painless. To give you an idea of the wait time for today at launch, have a cute little time lapse. So with that long queue, here's a couple of things that you can do to minimize your time. If you have the opportunity, play it off peak hours. This one's pretty obvious, but if there are less people on the server when you're trying to get on, you're not going to run into too many issues. Play on a less populated server. Server queues have gone up to 20,000 plus on some of the more popular servers. On US East, Themyscira, I've seen over 3,000. As of this recording, Amazon has added additional worlds to US East, US West, and the Australia clusters. If playing on a less populated server isn't really your thing, you can transfer your character. If you're working with a guild on a popular server where you want to be, and you can't get into it right now, you can start on a less popular server. This is an opportunity in the next 2 weeks for all players to relocate their characters to a new server of their choice at no cost. This was put out as an update by the Amazon developers of New World today. Start early and check often. If you know you can be busy for the next couple of hours, go and start the queue, fold that pile of laundry you've been putting off, or even just start the laundry. You know that when the servers balance, you won't have time for these silly care tasks anyways, so get it done now. My last tip is to be patient. It's super frustrating to be disconnected mid-game play due to a crash or other issues, and then just to be met with a long wait time, but I promise it will be okay. And one. After about 30 minutes, it was finally my turn to join the server. When I got to the end of the queue, I was met by an ominous black screen that made me think the game was going to crash. However, after a couple minutes, everything seemed to be alright. When you eventually get into the game, you're met by the tutorial. I have to say that the tutorial in New World is incredibly immersive and thematic. You have the capability to skip the tutorial though, if you'd like, through the game menu. But if you haven't played it through, I highly suggest that you take the time to get acquainted with the basic mechanics. During the first couple of hours in New World, you're going to want to knock out the first starting missions that give you background on the world, and you're going to want to gather, kill, and skin anything you come across. There are 5 gathering trade skills in New World: logging, mining, fishing, harvesting, tracking, and skinning. Each is important to being able to gather different items down the line, so you'll want to start early on these. And I definitely did a ton of gathering initially. What is she doing with her arms? What is going on? Once you've gotten through the beginning missions and you've started to build up a pretty good inventory, it's time to select your faction. There is Syndicate, purple, Marauders, green, and Covenant, yellow. I knew going in that my company was going to be in the Covenant faction, so it was a pretty easy and quick decision for me. After selecting a faction, you can now enter PvP mode. PvP allows you to interact with other players in combat. Unfortunately, this can happen at any time, so be careful. Once all was said and done, my first day in New World was a super success. I had gone through the beginning missions, joined a faction and company. It was super exciting to be in the game after waiting so long through the delays. What were some of the things that you wish you knew before starting New World? What faction is the best? Let me know in the comment section below, and until next time, stay happy and stay healthy.